This is the rotations lesson, and this is my second take. The first take, I got interrupted by a phone call by Clark County School District, so I'm hoping this time around with airplane mode that won't happen. Number one. All right. Oh no, that was number 4. So let me go back to number 1. As I said, I have to restart this video. Okay. This is rotations. So what we have to remember, clockwise looks like a clock. That goes that direction. Counterclockwise goes backwards. All right, figure number 1 has a point marked with a large dot. Oops, okay. And this is the final version. So I need to go back and put it back there at the original. Okay, so it says first rotate the figure 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So I remember you tap to get the hand to grab it, and then I like to look at this little bar right here. That's what I use to help guide to get to the next turn, because you just stop at the very next part of the axis. These are the lines that help divide the quadrants. So there we go. We are in the final image right there. Okay, there's our pre-image, there's our final after a 90-degree clockwise turn. And the original ordered pair, this will go a lot faster since I've already typed it in, that's cool. The original ordered pair was 4, -5. And now I will show that too. I'll zoom out just a little bit. There you go. 4, -5 goes with the original point. And for the point in the final figure, -5, -4. What I want to point out here is the connection of what you can do when you are rotating 90 degrees clockwise. You take the 2 numbers in your order pair and you switch them. And the second number, which is what we call, here's the X and the Y in each order pair. That's my X4, Y -5. I'm going to flip them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that the X to its opposite. So when the X gets flipped to the back and the Y gets flipped to the front, which is what we do, we're literally switching the 2 numbers. We make the opposite to the X, and then that's what we would do for every 90-degree clockwise turn. Okay, and how do we get that? Well, if you look at this point right here, this is the original point, and this is the new point, the copy of the point, okay? And the math is always the same. You flip the 2 numbers in the order pair from the original, and then if you're going clockwise 1 turn, you change to the opposite of the X. All right, next. This is gonna go hopefully a little faster than my first video did anyway. So we're gonna go to number 2. All right, and it's gonna be one that's just like this one, where you have to use the little hand, grab the shape, and move however many rotations they ask you to do. Okay, number 2 is this one. They want you to rotate the figure 270 degrees clockwise about the origin, meaning clockwise goes this way. And when you've grabbed the shape, you have turned it 3 turns. I'll go back. Ooh, I went really fast. Okay, here we go. We'll just go right there. Okay. And I like to get a lot closer to that little line. Okay, so here's our original, and it says to move it 270 degrees clockwise. That's 90 degrees each turn times 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. And if you're asking why 3 turns, because 270 degrees divided by 90 is 3. And that's 3 turns. And I drop it, and I put my original point right there, which is -4, 7. And then I put my new point for the image or the final, -7, -4. And then I'll call attention again, because I will be putting up the notes in just a moment. But you can see that we flipped the 2, the 4 and the 7 get flipped. The -4 and -4, the X got to stay the same, but the Y, we change to the opposite. So there is a pattern, all right? You flip the numbers, and then depending on how many turns that you make clockwise or counterclockwise, etc., then you change the sign of either the X or the Y. All right, moving on to number 3. And number 3, we're going to have to literally draw the shape with points and our little line tool. Okay, so here we go, and I've already done it, but I will go over it again. Here we go. So a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation about the origin. Here's the original. That's the original. And I had to go backwards on the clock. So one turn, 90 degrees, lands us here. Now, something I want to draw your attention to. When you have a picture and you have to draw it, here's the first point. And if I were starting at 0, 0, I'd be going left 2 and up 1. And if I'm going to go down, I got to take those 2 right there. That means it was going to look like a pinwheel. Down 2 and left 1. And that's one turn for that point, okay? And that point right there is -2, 1. That's that ordered pair right there. And that ordered pair is -1, -2. So if you see, there's our X and Y. We flipped them here. The X stayed the same and the Y changed for counterclockwise. All right, the Y changed to its opposite. All right, if you do the other 2 points, you'll find the exact same thing. Here's this original point, which is -5 and 3. And then when you come down here, and by the way, I'll erase all that. You go to the left 5 and up 3, okay? -5, 3. Then if you want to create that pinwheel one turn down, it's going to go down 5 and over 3, just like that. Okay, it's a pinwheel. I rotate it there, and I get to that point, and that point is -3, -5. All right, so if you see, the X, when it flips, when it goes to the back, is the same, but the Y's changed to their opposite. Okay, all right, so I'm going to erase that. And then our third and final point was here. And that ordered pair is, for the original, is oh, I did that point, sorry. See, I shouldn't have done it. There you go. Our ordered pair for the original is -4, and it goes up to 5. And then when you rotate it down, so if you're going this way, you'd be going over to the left 4, and then you go up 5. So now I got to go down 4 and to the left 5. And I end up at that point, which is, and I actually, is it down 4? And so over -5 and down 4. So once again, the X's stay the same, but the Y's had to do the opposite. You see that pattern? That's what you're doing when you're going 270 degrees counterclockwise, okay? All right, I'm gonna erase all of this, and then I'm gonna move to the last. All right, here we go. I'll have to draw another shape. And I've already done this because I'd already gone through this video once. So this actually does go a lot faster if I pre-draw. That's pretty cool. Okay. And this says to draw, oh, I did erase this one. This says to draw the following triangle after a 90-degree clockwise rotation. So clockwise means going this way, and 90 degrees means one turn, so right in there. That's where I have to land. Okay. So if for this one, this ordered pair is 2 and up 1. To the right 2 and up 1. So I'm going to the right 2 and up 1. If I'm going to go down this way, that means I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 1. And that's my new point. And that point is -1, positive 1, -2. I go to the right 1 and down 2. So look what happens. So we flipped them And now it's the X's. When I'm going 90 degrees clockwise, it's the X's that change to their opposite. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a point there, and then I'm gonna erase all of this. There's my point. And I just did that point. Now I'm gonna do this point. That order pair is 3 to the right and up 4. Now, if I'm going 3 to the right and up 4, if I want to turn it down, I'm gonna go down 3 and to the right 4, and that's where I end. And that ordered pair would be over to the right 4 and down -3, because everything is going down. So instead of, you can look at it, I gotta have down here, my X can be positive, but my Y has to be negative, so there it is. But it started out as a positive X, positive Y, 3, 4, flip the numbers, and it becomes 4, -3. All right, so I will go ahead and put that point. And then I'm gonna erase all that. And then the last one is, okay, this point right here, which is 5 to the right and 3 up. You know, for a second I thought, am I repeating another point? You would know, because you'd get the same numbers for the order pair. So clearly I'm not. I am doing the last point that I haven't done. All right, so that you go to the right 5 and you go up 3. Now, if you're gonna do this same thing and you're gonna rotate it down, that means this line will be here. Down 5 and to the right 3. And let's see what that order pair is gonna be. I'm over to the right 3, and I'm going down to -5. So again, and I forgot to do this, I forgot to circle over there, and I'm gonna circle this, and look at the pattern, the same for all 3 points. I flipped the numbers and I changed the X to the opposite. That's what you do. And I put the point there, okay? And then I'm gonna erase all of this, and I'm just gonna connect all my points with my line tool. Okay, so you gotta remember to do that as well. All right, there we go. And there you go. And there you go. Oops, did not hit it. There you go. And there you go. And that is taking this shape and turning it clockwise 90 degrees. I know it's kind of weird that it seems like, hey, something seems off here, but it's not. I'm trusting my ordered pairs. When I did my ordered pairs, and I did my little pinwheel kind of thing that I like to do off of each part of that axis, it really does help you kind of figure it out, okay? The final might not look right, but when you were working it out, you did the same thing each time, it will work, I promise. And that is the end of the rotations lesson. Woohoo!